feel like I should be able to get audio. Here we go. Testing, test. I should probably figure out the settings before I actually go live. But that seems right. Okay, that's good enough. Hello, everyone. We're back for today on Memorial Day. Hope your Monday's going well. So in this stream, I wanted to figure out authentication for the Pomodoro app. This is basically going to be part 2 of what we did. What was it? Yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Feels like a long time ago now, but basically we're going to figure out how to do authentication using Swift, using in a Vapor backend. So if you didn't see that one in summary, our client iOS app has a token, has a JWT token, the auth token. We'll send that to the backend, and the goal here is to create basically like a middleware that will will validate the auth token before continuing forward and doing the rest of the logic. If the token is expired or just for whatever reason the token's not valid, we will say 403 not authenticated, requires authentication, whatever that is, and therefore we will protect our endpoint. So let's switch into that. I completely forgot what we did last time, so let's try to remember, shall we? Let's do this together. Okay, so I think we had, from the last time we were playing around with this JWT authenticator, which I got from ChatGPT, and I actually don't like that solution too much. I did look into it a little bit. Why is it not showing? Basically, I looked into these Vapor's website. Let's close all these. Okay, whatever. Here. And I think there is some interesting information. I might need to read through this a little bit. We can probably do this together. And I think it should be pretty straightforward, to be honest. It's like all listed in this documentation. I should just read the documentation, and it would have been so much easier, I think. But yeah, let's read through this, shall we? In the authentication section, active verifying a user's identity, either credentials like a username or password or a unique token. Token is the one we're looking for. Authentication, sometimes called LC, distinct from authorization. Yep. Vapor's API provides support for authentication using the authorization header, using that. Basic and bearer. We are looking for a bearer token. I think that's the plan. That's pretty standard in what I've been doing. And in either Auth0 or, yeah, even Cognito, AWS Cognito. Either way, that's a pretty common technique in OAuth 2. It also supports authenticating user via the data decoded from the content API. What is that? I don't know. I don't really want to know right now. Maybe we'll figure that out later. So let's turn this volume up a little bit. Okay, so authentication is implemented by creating an authenticator, which contains the verification logic. So we can actually do like an async bearer authenticator. These are the helpers that ship with Vapor. from the request body. So actually, I think I want an async bearer authenticator. Whoa. This is a little bit different, but you know, we can work with this. You can also use the guard middleware in your route group because we have a user authenticatable that gives us a guard middleware. Requiring authentication is not done by the authenticated middleware to allow for composition of authenticators. Requiring authentication is not done by the authenticated middleware to allow for composition of the authenticators. Read more about composition below. Password or token. Okay, so as soon as you use the guard middleware, this one will do the protection. Otherwise, we will either do user or token authenticator. And here is also the guard. So the guard in here is done on the inside. We can also do it manually. Yeah, let's just try it out. It's a little bit weird. I mean, not too weird, but like, just gotta get used to it, I think. So let's try this out. I'm just gonna copy this. So this will now be an async bearer authenticator app.user. What is app.user? I guess this should be part of the models. I mean, it's kind of the same thing. I'll just do this. How about that? We're gonna do the style that the tutorial here tells us to do. So we're gonna create an authenticatable user, and it has one property name. It assumes the user strut. Wait, assumes this simple user strut. The following examples assumes this user. So we'll also try that out for now. So we can do this. Route. User authenticator. Does that work? Does this not work? I mean, I guess I don't really need this or this for now. Let's just comment that out. This is not going to compile. Comment that out. That's just, we're just doing it from the beginning. And let's run this. That's a good sign. I forgot to start my own Pomodoro timer. How long has it been? It's been about 10 minutes, so I'll set it to 15. 15 minutes. Basing it on when I started the stream. Okay, so the server started, and here you have access to a protected route. Where's he in? Oh. Can I do another scratch pad? Okay, so this is gonna be Pomodoro stuff. Let me organize my what do you call it? Insomniac first, so one moment. Come on. Put it in the folder. Why is it so difficult to move stuff around? I have so many API calls in here. I'm gonna do it in Insomniac because I don't know. I'm just kind of like. I think I like it a little bit better. We can have more control over our HTTP. There we go. All right. Sorry about that. So basically, so instead of doing it in the browser, I'm going to do it in Insomniac because this will give us a lot more information, a lot more control. We can change a lot more parameters, and we can see exactly what's coming back. I mean, yeah, the browser doesn't really have as much control. I guess it just went through without doing anything because we said get, and then you have access to protected route. I didn't pass anything into the auth yet. So how do we stop it? So if it says foo vapor, okay, so let's go back to the tutorial. Rect author is used to fetch if the authentication failed, this method will throw an error protecting the route. Do I have to do this? I don't get it. It's right there. It returns a guard authentication middleware. It's a middleware. It's right there. Let me recompile this. What? Oh. What's this? That's why. Maybe. Oh. Okay, whatever. That was from like another example. All right, let's try this again. Hey, look at that. User not authenticated. Sure. But is different in that authentication is possible. Okay, 403 is not authorized. I think 401 is wait. 403 is not. I think the wording's wrong on this. 401 is unauthenticated. 403 is should be unauthorized. Okay, whatever. What's a guard middleware? This is so weird. So basically what this is saying is if we send if we try to get protected, yeah, now authorization, now the route is actually being protected, and the way to authenticate is we need this is a very simple one, but we need an authentication token with the prefix of bear. And here the token is simply just foo. As soon as if you say that, then you have access to protected route. And like oh man, sorry, I'm tripping over my words. Basically all it does is says, all right, the user, your username is vapor if you pass in the token foo. Pretty basic, but it shows like an example of how it works. And there's one more thing I wanted to do. I want to get the user from this route just to show an example. So like, oh, this is interesting. Let's try .name. So this is used as if this method protecting the route. Okay, saved. Let's recompile, rerun that. I mean, we kind of got it. Welcome vapor. If we don't pass that in, then we get user not authenticated, which is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. What happens if I don't do this? I think it would throw and have the same behavior. So I'm not really sure what the guard middleware does. Okay, so yeah, it does. Oh, it says unauthorized. Whoa, where did it jump around? Okay, that's interesting. But unauthorized. I guess because it tries to get something on .auth, and we're saying it requires a username. But then it doesn't make sense why I need to put. I guess I need to put this in here, otherwise it will always fail because it never adds to the user. What am I looking for? User authenticator. Because this is actually how it sets the user. Okay, this is interesting. Because I think what I want is maybe not necessarily a user, but maybe like an OAuth token. Maybe it could be the user. Okay, I think I'm I'm getting a rough idea here. So basically, if bear token, like in here is where we validate the token, and we can potentially throw as well. Because all this is doing is just setting the user if you have this, but we can do more. We can say like if we can guard, make sure the token is valid, something like that. And I might be able to use ChatGPT's help for this. But the rest of the tutorial looks like it's just for basic. There is also a bearer here. This is just saying bearer foo. Oh, this is using the future version of it. Not using async. I think I'd prefer the async await just because that's newer, I guess. I mean, I guess I like the syntactic sugar. And yeah, this is the version that we have right now. There's some things that I like about future. You can actually like map futures. If you do the async keyword, it's not as nice to do functional stuff on it, but it's kind of nice as well. I mean, it has its pros and cons. Anyways, that's not the main point. The protocol requires you to implement authenticate bearer for requests, which would be called when an incoming request contains the bearer handler. Bearer authentication struct containing the token is passed to the method. In this test, authenticated token is registered against a hard-coded value, which is foo. In a real authenticator, you may verify the token by checking against a database or using a cryptographic measures like is done with JWT, which is exactly what I want. This is why the authenticate method allows you to return a future. Okay. Authentication can be a bottleneck. I remember doing this a lot in like .NET, where I think you did the same thing. Like, let's say you did a session cookie or something similar. Like you might look into the database. Like you might do something like this, have a middleware where when you get back the token, you go into the database, check to make sure the session token is there and it's valid and whatnot before you continue. Or you figure out who the user is, and what information that they just did in their session. JWT is kind of nice because it's kind of stateless. You can do it all here. You don't need to hit the database or anything. It's just all in that token. And it's cryptographically secure. Signifies authentication failed. You see unauthorized composition. You can chain more than one authenticator, so you can use password or token, and then you can use the guard middleware. I mean, I guess I kind of like this. I guess we'll do this in the router. We'll do this because that seems to be the recommended way Vapor does it. Oh, this one's interesting actually, the second admin. Because I think I will need something similar to this. I think I do need an admin authenticator, which would basically verify the JWT and then check for a scope of admin is what I'm thinking about. So like an admin is a user, it's just they have a little bit more privilege. But why does it have both? I think in this case, you can do either admin or a user. So here we're kind of just pushing in a user object here. And then in the route, we try to get it back. You can also do this if you don't want to automatically throw an error. So you can say like, if you're authenticated, you get the user, but if you're not authenticated, it's okay, we can still continue. So it's like a maybe authenticated. I have something similar in my Go server for Future Fest that I've done for Future Fest. But so the technique of doing like a maybe authentication is interesting here. I kind of wonder how it's done functionally, but that's fine too. Fluent. What is Fluent? Fluent defines two protocols. It's ORM framework. I wonder if we can have like a DynamoDB driver. Maybe that's something I can contribute back. That's gonna be interesting. I feel like it's very opinionated, but I mean, opinionated stuff isn't necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes it's a really good thing. But Fluent defines two protocols which can be added to your existing models. Allows for the creation of authenticators for protecting endpoints. Interesting. That's not exactly what I want right now. To start, you'll need a model. This is using Fluent. So, not what I want. Ooh, migrations. I'll have to figure that out. First thing is endpoint. I think a lot of this stuff is actually not relevant. Sessions interesting. Persist authentication between requests. This uses a unique identifier for storing the user in the request's session data after your successful login. So one thing I'm thinking about is they probably do this by putting it in memory. That's my guess. Could maybe database is probably configurable. But that's not going to work in AWS Lambdas, which requires it to be basically serverless. Unless we store it in the database, but then that creates a potential bottleneck. And this is all an assumption. I don't actually know how they do it. In the session data. Because what they do here is you log in the user and then this is not doing anything. When you authenticate, you have the session ID. Oh. What's a session API? Interesting. Yeah. So this is where, yeah, it is. So it is configurable. This is where you configure how your session data stores. Sorry, I'm like skipping through a lot of stuff because I'm making a lot of assumptions just because I've had experience in this. But if you're still following along, sessions is a general way to handle state management in backend APIs. Different servers or different projects, like if you use Spring Boot or Ruby on Rails, or different frameworks handles session data differently. The concept of a session is the same, but the way you handle it is differently. In Vapor, looks like the way they handle it is it becomes like a middleware, but you can also configure it by saying app.set. Like it's baked into the app itself. They know what the concept of a session is, and then if you say .use, you can specify that it's in memory, which again won't work in a serverless setting, or you can use .fluent to save it into the database, like a SQLite database. And you can also have session records into your migrations. I'm not going to explain migrations now. Looks like you can also use Redis. That's pretty cool. I think we have a serverless Redis thing in AWS now. And it looks like it's all doing it with cookies. So that's good to know. Thank you. Not relevant for what I want right now, but it's good to learn. What I actually want right now is not here. Going back to here, I'm going to skip sessions, website authentication. What is this? Session authentication, protecting routes. Didn't I just do this already? Initial login, subsequent calls, authenticate with a session. Provide several helpers. I think this, I feel like we just, what? Works as described, but you need to apply that session middleware. So you apply the session middleware and then you, sessions authenticator. Oh. Interesting. Cool. The cookie is not set to secure and HTTP only by default. Check on how to configure cookies. So you probably want to do this in actual production. I don't know why they didn't do that by default. Secure and HTTP only. Maybe because when you're doing local testing, actually I don't know why they did that. Protecting routes. Redirect middleware. Oh. This is kind of interesting using the architecture from this, what I call, well, I guess it's from module kit. I didn't actually make a router thing, but if we redirected, we could turn it into a universal link and actually have it redirect to the login screen. That would be interesting, but not necessary for now. Not exactly what I want right now. All of this is kind of pointless. I'm just kind of reading because it's a little bit interesting. And the Pomodoro timer has went out a long time ago, but we're going to still continue just because I feel like I'm making progress. Let's see. JWT provides a JWT authenticator. This is like exactly what I want and need. If you're new to check out the overview, first create a type representative payload. Is this what I want? I don't know. I mean, kind of is. Next, we can define a representation of the data contained in a 6. For now, the response will only have one property, which is string representing a signed JWT. That's exactly what I want. Using our model for the JWT, we can use a password protected login route, which returns a token. I don't really want this, but that's okay. It includes a signed session token. So this route returns, like in here, we have a mechanism to sign the JWT, except I don't want to implement this myself. That'd be a little bit interesting, though. We could make our own authentication stuff, but for this project in particular, I wanted to use Cognito just to learn how to use Cognito. So making our own, this is kind of fascinating because now I'm having thoughts. I can probably create my own Auth0 service, and I have some ideas on how it can potentially be better. But that's for another time. I'm sure it's a hard problem that I don't really care about right now. So let's go here. That will require inside the browser you can access the JWT payload using request.auth, and you can say require session token. Okay. I think we're getting somewhere. We are getting somewhere. I think, kind of. Like, it's not verifying everything that I wanted, but it's a start. It's a start. Crypto, that's fine. Passwords. JWT will be interesting here. Okay. Payload, let's set the key in there. JWT. Okay, so JWT.io is a pretty good site. It's pretty standard to help you read JWT auth tokens or JWTs. Wait, what? Wait. Okay, whatever. How much time are we in here? 35. I'm gonna set another 25-minute timer. Hopefully we can get this done in one more Pomodoro. I feel like I'm close. Okay, this is... Map the longer Swift property names. What's in JWT payload? And where is that in? Is that in, yeah, here. Is a publicly readable set of claims. Each variable represents a claim. And how they did this here is this. Yeah, let's just copy this. Let's make a new one. Token. Auth token. Auth. This one's an interesting one, but for places like Auth0, we can't have custom claims that don't start with like the beginning part of it. That does not start with a prefix. Not in Auth0. Do I have... I think I have to log in again. Whoops. Oh, geez. Come on. There. Come on. We'll log into my AWS. And access to this account. Now I am logged in. We'll go to Cognito. Don't need this. I'll keep that one. Here is my user pools. Do I have any users? Nope. What was I gonna do? I think I was gonna try to log in. Let's do that. But before I log in, I have to set stuff on the front end. Here's the Pomodoro app on the front end. And I think, do I put it in main module or was it in services? It should, no, it should be in the main app. Here. Here we go. Now all I need is the client ID. So we go to app integration. Here, and we grab this client ID, replace it here. I'm gonna ignore the WebSocket part for now and rebuild this because now it should actually be hooked up to Cognito. Do I have this running twice? Okay, whatever. I think this should work. Hello? Oh. Oh, oh. Oh, come on. What do I normally do for a password? Oh, geez, I don't even know. Successful. Okay, so I will probably need to fix the UI for this. And I just got an email, which is funny because I have to confirm. I think I have to confirm my sign up before I can continue. So let's do that, shall we? And like this is all it is. Click here to sign up. Your registration has been confirmed. So I guess I should have refreshed here, but if you go to users, you'll see 1 confirmed. Yes, that means we'll go back to login. I don't like it when it made it capitalized. And then we'll log in. There we go. So I am logged in. Here's my token. Let's take a look at this, shall we? Okay, and this is what the token looks like. So this is basically the default from Cognito. And you can see we have a lot of stuff here. Subject, email verified issuer, Cognito username, origin, don't know what that is, audience. I think that's for my app, I guess. Event ID, not sure. Token use. Okay, so there's some standard ones that you can see, like this website is telling me about a time when authentication occurred, expiration time, issued at, ID, unique identifier. This one's not standard, but that is email. Okay, so I'm gonna do a couple of things. One, in Insomniac, let's enable this, and we're gonna do that. So now I am prepared to pass in my actual token. And it also contains a bunch of stuff here. So let's go back to the server. What we were looking at was the backend here, auth token payload. So we have a couple of stuff. Admin's actually not a relevant one. I'm gonna comment that out. The rest of it, it's fine for now. We can add more stuff later, like email. I mean, I guess I can. That's fine for now. This is cool. Subclaim identifies a principal that is the subject of the JWT. It has some of the standard stuff in there. Auth time. IAT. Issuer claim. Subject audience claim. I think we can add that in here. Yep. What else we got here? JTI? Sure, sure. We'll take it. JTI. case. Var equals claim. Now I'm just kind of putting random stuff in here. Issuer. I mean, it's not like I really need all of these. But it's kind of standard. ISS, that's fine, yep. Audience, auth time. I mean, what other claims are there? Sub, odd, we got that. I got that one. IAT. This is an important one. Tenant. Not before. What's JWT claim? A claim is a quotable top level. Some claims, such as expiration, are inherently rare. Okay. I think it's a generic claim. Like, for example, this one, audience. Audience is, why is that an array of strings? I guess you can have multiple multi-value claim. That's cool. What's it? Oh, okay. So we don't want a JW claim. We want claim. We want issued at claim. IAT. Issuer. Case issued at. There we go. There we go. What other claims are there? We can have an email claim. How about that? Is this gonna work? Nope. What about like string claim? Seems like they should have had like a string claim. Value is a string. Or, I mean, I guess I can just do string. Sure. Okay, so we've modeled out our auth token payload. And we've customized it. We can attach the above. Okay, so let's do this, shall we? In our routes, auth token payload. So we have an auth token payload. We don't need user authenticator anymore. Now we actually need a JWT authenticator, right? Okay, so here's a token expiration claim. Do we have an expiration claim in there? Yes, that's good. So we have the JWT payload there. In this case, session. Which returns that. So when you post login, that's fine, but now we Want session token.authenticator. Wow, okay. So what that means is in route here, instead of doing this, I'm just gonna comment this out. Now we can say grouped dot. Oh, we don't need dot. What is it? Authenticator. Wait. Dot. It needs to conform to authenticatable. Okay. A little bit curious now. This is in Vapor, but we can't find. This is in Vapor, so I think I need to import Vapor. There we go. Simple enough. But now what that means is we can say, this is weird. Authenticator and guard middleware. This is in the JWT package, so we will have to import JWT, and now it finds that. But we also want to say dot grouped guard middleware, so it's the same thing. So by doing these two, it will just make sure that it has an auth token passed in and verify. Just make sure that it's not expired, which is okay for now, but we will need to also verify who signed the token, who passed in the token, probably other stuff like making sure that the signature is valid. Beyond signature verification, so that's okay. Yeah, make sure it's not expired. I don't know, make sure that it's for the right audience, stuff like that. Let's try it out. Okay, so that's running, and then now we go back to Insomnia. We're getting protected, but it's still unauthorized. Okay, now it gets to the tricky part. Not token payload not authenticated. But because we wait. Oh. Oh, okay. Let's try that again. I think it actually worked. It's just I left this one line in, causing it to fail. Did it do it? I'm gonna run it again. What is this? Okay, that we don't need that. Okay, so we'll run it again, go to protected, and it should use the auth token payload authenticator and guard middleware. Okay, server started. Unauthorized. How does the signature verification work? Like I didn't tell it to anything else. Let's do this for now. So if this doesn't work, this is pretty standard, I think. If this doesn't work, then there's something about the signature. Whoa, okay. All right, let's go back to the docs. I don't get it. First create a type. Now we can do this. If you don't want to use it, you can have something that looks like. Right, you can just try by conforming to that nebula. You can generate a route authenticator by using that method. Add this to a route group to automatically fetch and verify the JWT before your route is called. To fetch. How does it fetch it? I mean, I guess it fetches it from the request header. And verify, but how is it verifying? Okay, I'm gonna give myself maybe about 10 more minutes. A few more minutes to try to figure this out. Because I think we're almost there. We just need to figure out how is it doing the signature verification? It's probably because I hear. It's a secret. It does not support with less than that. That's fine. Yeah, that's good to me. To create an artist with a public PEM. It's funny how it's under the insecure one. Ooh, wait. Yeah, this is nice. But how do we do that? Google, Microsoft. To your JWT signers. Thank you for telling me that. Now can you tell me how to do that? What? To the verify method. I mean, I guess they want me to do it here. Did I miss something? Okay, let's just go back to Xcode. I think we have to go back to the configure. And we'll try this again. We'll try a different approach. Keys dot. I mean, maybe I can. You can do this again. But that means I just need to uncomment it from here. I realize how insecure this is. I'm gonna do it anyways. For now, at least. It just downloads it and adds it. So let's try now. Does it work? Does it work? Ho ho ho! Exciting. Oh, I'm so tired. Oh my god, okay. So this I'm kind of surprised that actually worked. But it, I mean, okay, sure. Let's just do the same thing here with auth token payload. Let auth token welcome slash auth token dot. Yes, I would like to also see that. I'm just gonna do this because, yeah. Oh man, I think it's working. Oh man. Fascinating. So I'm learning a little bit about I never used JWS KS's Java and JSON web key stores, but that's fascinating and actually pretty helpful. I don't want this one right now. All right, check this out. Now I'm going to use ChatGPT to help document some stuff. Add Swift docs to this file. Does this do anything? No. So I don't even need a middleware. Like I just have the auth token payload and it includes the middleware. Just because naturally how Vapor works. Whoa. I swear ChatGPT has bugs. Nice. Cool, that's good enough. That's insane, dude. I just added this. and it worked. My brain's blown, my mind's blown. So we're gonna ask ChatGPT, what else should we check? Ensure that the JD is intended for your application. Verify that the JD was issued by trustworthy. Ensure the email claim is in a valid email format. I don't think we have an NBF. Nope. That's fine. That's interesting. Whoa. That's actually not too bad. It's not too bad, ChatGPT. Not too bad. Oh, right, but I don't know what my intended issuers are. So like, well, I guess, I mean, I guess. Just comment that out for now. And then ChatGPT will hallucinate sometimes. So I'll just say that. And if that doesn't work, I don't really want to go to that route too often. I'll just comment it out. Ooh, interesting. How can I find out more about this? Okay, I'm gonna not do this one for now. And let's just see if the rest of it works. I mean, didn't really add too much more changes. The audience one is not bad. I think it's not bad. I mean, I don't know. Maybe sometimes we want more audiences. But let's check Insomnia. I mean, it still works. What if I remove this? Actually, what if I remove the E? Yeah. So it's fascinating. It works. It works. That's insane. What if I just do that? No way that works. I guess it does. I mean, I guess it is. Yeah, there we go. We got the subject claim, value of that, expiration claim, audience claim. Look at that. That is an array. ID claim, issuer claim, issued at claim. Not before is nil. That's fine. And then email, which is a custom claim. So basically what I'm thinking about is if we wanted to make this done in like a reusable way, this email, I'm not exactly sure how it would be done because email won't be in everything. Like you'd need to, you might need to customize the way some of the claims are done if you choose a different provider like Auth0, which would need a different service, authentication service. I mean, I think for now I'm pretty happy with the way this works. Might need to clean it up and whatnot, but I mean, hey, this is doing what we basically want it to do. Except for this, I mean, this is not doing anything. Let's delete this. Do we need this middleware folder? No. It's okay, because it will not be committed. We need that. Oh, we don't need the user for now. Let's delete that. We don't need this one. Payload. We have the payload that we want already. So let's delete this. No controllers, no middlewares. That's fine. Because all we need is this model. So that's the main one. We have resolved. JWT. Yeah, this is good enough, I think. Packages, we're adding that dependency, comma, good. This configuration is interesting. I think we need to pull this from, ultimately we will need to pull that from the environment variable. What is this? We can change this back. There we go. Oh, we don't need the people one. We don't need the user one, and that's fine. Nice. Main app. Okay, this is for testing purposes. That's the front end. Which is funny because in the back end, I mean, here we kind of had the same thing. I'm going to actually remove a lot of stuff from here. Just kind of clean it up a bit. looks good. Cool. Okay, so that looks clean. That's good. That's good. Yeah, I think that's fine. I mean, ideally we'd probably hide the details of the token just to the payload. But then again, .authenticator needs JWT, so I think it has to do this no matter what. But ideally inside of here, it's like as soon as we authenticate, it's probably good enough. I was thinking of doing this and then having like user dot middleware so that it kind of extracts this into a generic user object, but that's fine. It's probably good enough for now. So don't commit that. We will add this. This is good. Okay, and then before I commit this, I want to get ChatGPT's help. Give me Swift docs for this. Let's add the songs back. Dang, that's a lot of docs. Maybe a little bit too much, but whatever. Well, it compiles. And I think the last thing I want to do is here. So then now when we go to source tree, yep, this is probably good enough. Adds a generic SK from the given URL to the key collection. Yep. And then here we got replace me. Perfect. So we got that, yeah. Nice. Okay. Okay, wow, this is great. This is exactly what I wanted. I think we have a user ID too, probably. We can add a user ID in next time, but based on the user ID, we could go to the database or from the email address. Probably the user ID, that's better. We can go to the database. Now we can add stuff to DynamoDB, and I think that's going to be what I'm going to work on next time. Don't need that for now. Okay. Yeah, this is good. All right, and so now I'm going to do the trick again. Give me a git commit message for these changes. Added that for yep. For protected routes. It's not really that much of a big change. Okay. Nice, nice. Ooh. Kind of glad I got that in. I think we'll change some of this stuff later. At least I got the foundation for it, so very, very happy about that. All right, I think I'm gonna call that for I think I'm gonna call it for programming for tonight. I might play some games with friends. Maybe I'll stream that. We'll see. But anyways, thanks for joining me for programming and adding authentication into our backend. It was pretty exciting. Next time we're gonna do DynamoDB stuff. Might try to play around with Fluence or not sure how that's gonna work, but we'll figure it out one way or another. And then that way we'll have a database finally set up. But yeah, thanks again for joining me, guys. Hope you have a good rest of your evening.